Hello yogis, welcome back to today's Vinyasa class. So for our practice today, you will need a strap or a belt or tie and 2 blocks if you use them in your practice. And I'm going to start today with a bit of a ritual. So I encourage you guys to start your daily practice with a ritual of some sort. So if you enjoy using essential oils, which I do, feel free to grab an oil and rub some in the palm of your hands, rubbing it over your heart, your chest, your neck. But today I am going to use some Palo Santo, which is a wood that is often used to cleanse space and to bring energies in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn the edge of the stick and just get it glowing a nice bright red. Takes a bit of time for it to catch. And just let it burn a little bit on all sides. So these Palo Santo sticks you can buy online, or you can find them in the esoteric shops. It's a really beautiful woody smell that just draws in all our energies and clears space. So once you've got it burning a nice ember, then you can blow it out and then just start to swirl the smoke around you. And this is your time to set an intention for your practice. Just drawing in towards your heart what it is that you would like from your practice today. Make sure to, if you are using Palo Santo or sage, to make sure that you circle yourself and coat your whole body with the smoke. And then bringing it to your heart space. Allowing the smoke to clear out any old stuck energies, to clear space for new opportunities. Just taking your hands to your heart. Connecting to your intention for today, whatever that may be for you, whatever speaks true for you. Breathe it into your heart space. Hold it in there. Expand your heart with it. And then exhale, let it out into the universe. One more like that. Deep inhale. Fill up your heart with your intention. Retain it in there. And exhale, let it out. And release your hands. All right, so we're going to start today's class in child's pose. So please come into your child's pose. And what I'd like you to do to start is to bring your knees together for a variation of child's pose. Big toes touch. You're going to take your seat back to your heels, reach your arms back behind you, and just let your forehead rest on the ground. So really just allow your shoulders to soften over your thighs. Opening up into the back gate of your heart. And just slowly start to connect to your breath. Drawing yourself inwards. Gathering yourself for your practice ahead. Your only goal for now is to slow the breath down. Inhaling in and out through the nose. And then from here, slowly start to extend your arms out in front of you and really stretch through those arms. So maybe even coming up onto the fingertips. Lengthen through the spine, through the arms, but draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Just finding some length, some space. Then grounding your hands down, gently bring yourself up onto all fours, coming into your tabletop position. And you're going to separate your knees slightly so they're about hip distance apart. And we're going to do a little bit of fluid movement from child's pose to tabletop to downward facing dog. So inhaling into a bit of a cat's or cow stretch rather, dropping the belly, lifting your face up. And then exhale, tuck your toes, start to lift your knees and take your seat back. So we're not quite in a downward facing dog, but bending the knees deeply, stretching into the spine. Slowly coming back onto your knees, find your cow stretch. Stretch the front of the neck, and then untuck the toes and take it back into your child's pose, stretching into the arms. Inhale into your tabletop, belly drops, heart lifts, head lifts. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your knees and hover. Really drawing your seat back towards your heels, but keeping your knees bent. Inhale, come onto your knees, find your cow stretch. And exhale back into your child's pose. Let's take one more of those. Inhaling, cow stretch, belly drops, heart lifts. Exhale, tuck your toes, find your variation of down dog, pressing the mat away from you. Inhale, knees down, belly drops, heart lifts. And exhale back into your child's pose. Beautiful. Slowly coming into your tabletop position. Take a nice deep inhale breath. And exhale. You're going to tuck your toes under and find your way into your downward facing dog. So just take a moment to walk your dog out, to stretch into the back of the legs, release any tension, any tightness that you may be holding on to. Just finding your breath at the same time, your Ujjayi breath. So for those who are not used to Ujjayi, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose, but making a ha sound with the mouth closed. Constriction in the back of the throat. And then come to find stillness in your downward facing dog. Stretch into the upper body. Draw those shoulder blades away from each other. So you're almost wrapping the shoulders. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Right leg reaches back behind you. Three-legged dog. Keep the hips level. And then slowly bring it forward, coming into a low lunge. So lower the back knee down. And just lift up into the heart. From here, we're going to straighten into your front leg, coming into your runner's lunge. So this is where you may want to use your blocks and place them underneath your hands. You're going to walk your toes forward and then draw them up towards the sky. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, bow. Just slowly starting to warm up into the body. Inviting some space into the body. Last full breath. Good. And then come back into your lunge. So bending into your front knee. From here, you're going to swing your left leg back behind you. The left foot and the left shin. And you're going to walk your hands to about a 45-degree angle. So you can start to reach your arms out and stretch your chest down towards the ground. Or you can bring your forearms down, if you're quite flexible, and draw your head down towards the ground. What I like to do in this pose is keep my left forearm down and really reach through my right fingertips. So I'm getting a really nice stretch into that whole right side of the body. So just find a variation that works for you here. You should feel it into the right inner thigh as well. Deep breath. And exhale. Come up onto your hands. Walk the hands back. Swivel that back foot back to the mat. And we're going to step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches back behind you. Keep the hips level. And let's step it forward, coming into your low lunge at the top of the mat. Lower the back knee down. Keep your hands on the ground. Lift your gaze and heart. Just gently drawing your hips forward. And then slowly taking it back into your runner's lunge. So again, straightening into the front leg, walk your toes forward. Make sure that the hip and the knee are in line with each other. Hands on either side of your extended leg. Take a deep inhale and exhale to fold. Finding your breath, finding your edge, working with your body today. Not yesterday's body, not tomorrow's body, but today's. What is your body telling you today? How are you feeling? What is coming up? Last full breath, deep inhale and exhale. Come all the way back up, bend into your front knee, finding your lunge. Bring your hands on the inside of your left foot. You're going to swing that right leg back and then walk your hands to an angle. So again, you can stay on your hands here, or you can come down onto your forearms, or if you like the variation, start to reach through that left arm and really get a nice stretch. Just a few deep breaths here. Last one. All right, slowly bring it back, come up onto your hands, walk it back onto the mat, swivel that right leg back, and you're going to step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, let's lower down, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, right leg reaches back behind you, three-legged dog. This time, roll the hip open, stretch it out. Feel for taking your hands evenly onto each side. So weight is even, not that you're pressing too much into your left hand. Square your shoulders off. You can bend into your top knee, stretch it out. And then extend the legs, square the hips off, bring your knee to your chest, hover forward and plank. And then let's step that right foot forward, coming back into your low lunge. Keep your hands on the ground. We're taking it back into your runner's lunge. So straightening once again into your front leg, walk the toes forward. And then draw the toes up. 3 breaths here. Deep inhale, find length in the spine. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, bow. Last one, inhale, high. And exhale, fold. Bend into your front knee, come back into your lunge. What we're going to do here is going to bring your hands up onto your thigh. I'm going to challenge you a little bit. You're going to tuck your back toes under, and we're going to swivel to the left into your goddess squat or your temple squat. So coming straight into your temple squat. So toes are out, pointing toward the corners of your mat, heels are in. And you can place your hands onto your thighs. Feel for pushing those thigh muscles away from your hips. And you can gently sway from side to side. Arms are straight. Really drop into the hips. Then come back to center. Extend the arms out to the sides. And you're going to bring eagle arms. So right elbow wraps over the left. You're going to wrap your palms, so palms touch. Inhale, lift the elbows a little higher. And then exhale, draw the hands away from the face. So you're getting this nice stretch into the upper back. Keep bending deeply into those knees, dropping the hips down, holding for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Release the arms, reach them out. And let's take your warrior 2. So ground into the back foot, front toes pointing to the front of the mat. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the ground and step it back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward to plank. This time, lower your knees, point your toes back, lift your heart and gaze, keeping the elbows tucked in, lower all the way down. Inhale, curl your tailbone, lift up, low cobra. And exhale to push back into your downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, left leg reaches back behind you, 3-legged dog, roll the hips open. Bend into your knee, stretch it out. Square your shoulders off. And then extend the legs, square the hips off. Bring your knee to your chest, hover forward. Nice, so let's step it forward, coming into your low lunge. Lift the heart, draw the hips forward. And then take it into your runner's lunge. Straightening into your front leg. Draw the toes up. Hands either on your blocks or on the ground. And we'll take 3 deep breaths here. So deep inhale as you find a flat back. And then exhale to bow down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, nose to your shin. Last one, full breath in. And exhale, bow. Good. Coming all the way up and into your front knee. Find your lunge once again. Okay, so just grounding into that left foot. Bring your hands up onto your left thigh. And we're going to swivel over to your goddess squat once again. So tucking your toes under. Take it all the way over to the right this time. Nice, so really getting those hips nice and low. Knees pointing out to the sides. And this time you're going to grab a hold of your ankles. Okay, get those hips nice and low, stretching into the inner thighs, into the groin. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your hands to your heart, rise all the way up. Nice. Full breath in. And exhale, take it into warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the ground and step it back into your downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower your knees, point your toes back, lift your heart so you've got this nice long line from your head to your knees. Keep the core engaged and slowly lower all the way down. Inhale, curl your tailbone, lift up, low cobra. And exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Open your mouth, sigh it out. One more inhale, deep breath. And exhale. Inhale, right leg reaches back behind you, 3-legged dog. Knee to chest, hover forward. Let's step that right foot to the front of the mat. Lift your heart and gaze. And you're going to step your left foot forward, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Hands down by your sides. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, find your chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold, touch the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, bow. Bend your knees, take your seat back. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Seat low, heart high, full inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen to a flat back. Exhale, step it back into your plank pose. Shoulders directly above the wrists. We're going to take a chaturanga all the way down, so keep those elbows tucked in as you lower. Inhale, lift low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up. Knee to your chest, hover. Find space, step that right foot forward, lower the back knee down. Once again, coming into your runner's lunge. So this time, if you are warm, curl your back toes under and take your hips to your heels and your nose to your shin. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, just getting a good stretch into those back toes as well. 2, and 1. Nice, gently bring it all the way back. Warrior 2. Ground your back foot down. Circle the arms. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Step it back. Downward facing dog. Left leg reaches up high. 3-legged dog. Knee to your nose, hover. Create space. Step that left foot forward. Lower the back knee down. Come into your runner's lunge on the other side. So again, if you took the variation, tuck your back toes under and take your seat back to your heel, straightening into your front leg, bringing your head down. And breathe 5 deep Ujjayi breaths. Last one. Nice. Slowly coming back into your lunge. Ground your hands down. Set up for warrior 2. So extending through your back leg. Ground through it. And then circle arms all the way open. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Step it back into downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, take your chaturanga, either with your knees down or extended. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, right leg reaches up high. Knee to your chest, hover. Let's step it forward, coming into warrior 2. Circle the arms all the way open. All right. So start to straighten into your front leg. Squeezing your thighs together, hinge at the waist, reaching forward until you can't reach anymore, and then bring your right hand down to a block or your shin and reach the left arm high. Keep lengthening through the spine. And from here, we're going to take a half bind. So you're going to turn your top arm so that the palm is facing in the opposite direction. And then bend into your top elbow and bring that hand behind you towards your right hip. And really feel for rolling that left shoulder back. Finding space, holding here for 5. Ground into the feet. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your bind. Arm reaches up. And exhale. Hands down to the mat. Coming into a lunge. Let's find an easy twisting lunge here. So grounding left hand down. Right arm reaches up. Stack your shoulders. Lengthen through the waist, right through the crown of the head. Inhale, top arm reaches all the way overhead. And exhale, hands down to the mat. Lower the back knee down. So just start to draw your hips forward towards your front heel, really stretching into that left hip flexor. And we're going to take a bit of a quad stretch here. So you're going to ground into your left hand, and you can actually take your left hand right off the mat. So you're leaning over to the left, bend into your back leg, and this is where you may need your strap. You can place a strap around the ball of the back foot, and then grab a hold of your strap or grab a hold of your foot. And you're going to start to draw that foot in towards you. If you can grab a hold of it with your foot, you're going to turn your fingers to face your hips. So the elbows pointing out, and really just getting a good stretch into those quad muscles. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, twisting your chest open to the right, 2, last breath, and slowly release. Don't let that leg snap back to the ground. Bring your hands down to the ground and step it back. Downward facing dog. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, left leg reaches up behind you, 3-legged dog. Knee to chest hover. Good, let's step it forward, coming into warrior 2. Circle the arms open. Okay, so find your posture, strong pose. Keep your gaze focused over your front fingers. Gazing into your future. Wiggle your back fingers. Remind yourself of your past, but remain firmly present. Straighten into your front leg. You're going to start to hinge forward, setting up for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches up high. Triangle pose. Once again, feel for leaning back against an imaginary wall. We're going to take your half bind, so turning your palm to face the back. Bend into that elbow, bringing your hand towards your left hip. If you can grab the top of the left thigh, you can do that. And roll that shoulder back. Open up into the chest, revolve it open. Hold for 3, 2, last breath, and slowly release. Right arm reaches up, and then exhale. Bring your hands down to the ground, swivel onto your back toes, coming into your lunge, and we'll take an easy twisting lunge from here. So ground into your right hand, left arm reaches up high. Keep extending through that back leg, heel drawing back. Inhale, reach your top arm all the way overhead. And exhale, release your hands down to the ground. Lower the back knee down. And we're going to take your quad stretch on the other side. So taking your hand right off of the mat so you can lean into it. Bend into your right knee. You can take your strap to your right ankle. And you're going to swing your left arm all the way up and back to grab a hold of that right foot. drawing it in towards your sit bones. So either grabbing your strap or your foot, whatever is available for you. If you have got your foot, turn your fingers to face your hips and hold it here for 5. You can roll onto the knife edge of your left foot. 4. Keep twisting to the left. 3, 2. Last breath. And slowly release. Nice. Bring your hands down to the mat. Step it back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, take your chaturanga. So if you're taking a full chaturanga, we come halfway down. And then inhale into your upward facing dog, where only your hands on the top of your feet are pressing into the mat. Everything else is lifted. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Nice. Lower your knees down to the mat. Take a child's pose for a moment. Taking your seat back to your heels. Allow your arms to rest alongside your body, hands drawing back towards your feet. Just notice how the body feels after a bit of movement. Opening up, creating a bit of space in the body, space in the mind, space in the breath. Last one, deep inhale and exhale. Nice, slowly roll the spine up. Okay, so we are going to practice our crow pose. So if you are new to crow pose, I'd like you to grab a hold of your blocks. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 variations with blocks and without. So if you do have blocks, you're going to place your blocks in this way. One on its flattest surface and the other one on the middle height. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to place your toes onto the lowest block and your heels on the highest one. And then you're going to come into a Vinyasa squat. Okay. So your knees are out nice and wide and you're resting your feet on the blocks. You're going to ground your hands down onto the mat. So just in front of you. Keeping your feet connected to the blocks, connect your knees into your upper arms and then start to rise just your hips up. Okay, so your aim here is to find a bit of balance. So start to shift your weight forward, connecting your knees into your upper arms, drawing your heart forward until you find some balance. And maybe you can lift one foot up. Maybe you can lift the other, maybe you can lift both. So you can play with that if you are using blocks. If you're not using blocks, you're going to come straight into your Malasana. So into your yogic squat, hands down to the ground. Connect your knees to your upper arms. Lift your hips up. Shift your weight forward. So think of a triangle. Your hands are at the bottom corners of the triangle and you're going to reach your heart to the top corner. And then slowly release once you're done playing. Bring your hands to your heart. Let's just stretch out those wrists because it does take quite a bit of pressure onto the wrist. So keeping the palms of your hands together, just start to draw your hands down towards the mat. Before the palms start to separate, just keep it there. Holding 3, 2, and 1. Nice. And then turn the back of your palms together and let your thumbs touch the fingers, but you're still connecting your fingers against each other. And then slowly start to draw the top of the hands down to the mat. Keeping the fingers connected. Stretching into the front of the wrists, holding for 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Good. Bring your hands down to the mat. Come all the way up into your forward fold. And you're going to walk your hands forward, coming into your downward facing dog. Come up onto your toes, bend your knees, look up at your hands. You're going to walk, step, or hop it forward. Forward fold. So take your feet about hip distance apart. Bend your knees deeply. Grab a hold of your big toes with your peace fingers and your thumb. Draw your shoulders back. Chest open, look forward. Sit bones are up. And then exhale, fold. Head down, tailbone draws up. Once again, inhale, bend the knees, heart forward. And exhale, all the way down, straighten into the legs. Release your big toes, place your hands down on the ground. We're going to move into your half moon balance from here. So if you need a block, you're going to take your block and place it underneath your right hand. Place your hand onto the right block and slowly start to extend that left leg open. So your aim is to open the whole body out to the left. Ground into your right foot, find your balance. Extend the left arm up. Left leg rises. And your toes are drawing towards your shin. So you've got this beautiful long line. Shoulders stacking. Legs at a 90-degree angle. Hold it here for one more breath. And then exhale, you're going to step it back gracefully into warrior 2. Good. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, take it back, warrior 2. You're going to swing the back arm down and up, coming into your high lunge. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a full breath in. And then exhale, take your twist to the right. So left elbow on the outside of the right thigh, stacking the shoulders, stacking the palms, drawing the belly off of the thigh. Good. One more breath here, deep inhale, extend through the back leg. And exhale, release your hands down to the ground, step it back, downward facing dog. Let's take your vinyasa flow. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. And we'll meet back, downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out. Come up onto your toes, bend your knees, look up at your hands, walk, step, or float it forward. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, fold. Separate your feet once again. This time you're going to bring your hands underneath your feet so you can keep your knees as bent as you need to. Try and get your toes right up towards your wrists. Then we're going to inhale, lengthen, keep the knees bent, and exhale, fold. Straighten into the legs, draw your nose towards your knees. Inhale, bend your knees, heart reaches forward. Exhale, fold and straighten the legs. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Good. Release your hands from underneath your feet. And we're going to take your half moon balance on the other side. So walking your block, if you need it, over to the left underneath your left hand. Start to find your balance. Sweeping the right leg out to the side. Once you have your balance, right arm reaches up high. So opening your body out. Find length through the spine, through the crown of the head. flex into those right toes. Hold it here, one more breath. And we're going to step it back, warrior two. Good. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, take it back, warrior two. Let's swing that right hand down and up, coming into your high lunge. And then bring your hands to your heart. So make sure you're not standing on a straight line, otherwise you are going to lose your balance. Full breath in, find length in the spine, and then exhale as you twist to the left. So once again, stack the shoulders, draw your thumbs to your sternum, to your heart space. Extend through the back leg. Last breath, deep inhale. And exhale, release your hands down, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. One more deep inhale and deep exhale. Come up onto your toes, bend your knees, look forward, walk, step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Heels slightly apart, toes together, bend your knees, take your seat back, inhale, chair pose. Good. And now challenge yourself, lower your seat a little more. And a little more. And maybe a little more. And keep traveling down, try not to touch the ground, but bring your seat all the way down. And find your boat pose. If you toppled, bring yourself back up. So if you need to grab the back of the thighs, you can do that and just lengthen through the spine. Otherwise, extend the arms, holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your feet. Well done. All right, so just extend your legs all the way out in front of you. You can grab a hold of your strap. And you're going to take your strap and place it around the ball of both feet. Taking a nice deep inhale, find length in the spine. And then exhale, folding forward. And just walking your hands forward towards your feet, drawing your heart towards your toes. Holding here. Really stretching into the back of the legs, into the glutes, your lower back. One more breath. Nice, and slowly release. Just put your strap to the side for now. You're going to slide your left knee in towards your chest and then let that knee fall out to the side, connecting your foot to your inner thigh. Right toes point up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale and then exhale, walk your hands forward, just going to your edge. Again, try not to round into the back. You want to take the rounding out of your back. So really find space in the vertebra between the discs. And then lengthen your heart forward. Just taking a few deep breaths here. Good. And then slowly roll your spine up. And what we're going to do is we're going to take your left ankle and cross it over your right thigh. We're going to start to slide that right foot so that we're bending into the knee and you're drawing that left shin towards you. So this is where you can place your hands behind you so you can lengthen into your spine and find your edge with this pose. If this is enough, stay here. Otherwise, slide the foot closer to you or slide your seat towards your heel. But keep lengthening through the spine. You don't want to be doing this, okay? So take that rounding out of the back. Flex into that left foot. Breathe into the stretch. Go internal. Close your eyes. Feel it. Last 2 breaths. Good. And slowly release, taking your hips back. Release that left foot down to the ground. You're going to keep your hands behind you, but you're going to turn your fingers to face your hips. And we're going to come into a reverse table. So your feet are about hip distance apart. Your hands are flat down on the ground. Take a nice deep inhale. And then exhale, press into your heels as you lift your hips up, opening up into the chest. So this is a really good stretch for the front of the shoulders. Holding here, lifting your hips. 3, 2, hold, and 1. Slowly release. Just slide your hips back, straighten into the legs. Good. Then take your hands back behind you again. This time I want you to point into your toes. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing, but with your legs extended. So coming into Purvottanasana. So fingers pointing towards your hips. Point your toes. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale. Try and get your big toes to touch the ground as you lift your hips up. Holding here for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Nice. Good job. Bring your heels in. Just wrap your hands around your shins. Draw your head down to the ground, or down to your knees rather. And just go in. Gather yourself. Beautiful. And slowly rise up. Extend your legs out in front of you. Let's take it to the other side. So right knee draws in towards your chest. Let's take that right knee out to the side. And really allow that right thigh to roll open. If you need a bit of support underneath that thigh, you can place a block or a pillow underneath it. Flex into your left foot. Take a full breath in, lengthen through the spine, and then use your exhale breath to walk yourself forward. Maybe coming halfway, then take another deep inhale and exhale to fold a little deeper. Keep drawing your heart forward, not your head. So your aim is not to get your head down to your knee, but rather your heart towards your toes. Finding length, finding space. Holding here, 2 more breaths. Last one. Good. And slowly release, coming all the way up. Okay, sliding that right ankle over your left thigh. We're going to take that stretch on the other side, so bending into your left knee. Find your edge with this. Bring your hands flat down on the ground next to your hips. You can slide your heel in, or you can draw your hips towards your heel. Find space in your spine, lengthen, flex into that right foot, and breathe. Close your eyes, drop inside. Connect to the sensation, connect to your breath. Your awareness is the practice. It's not about getting into the pose, but rather how you react. So stay present. Last two. Last one. And slowly slide that left leg back. Release the right foot down to the ground. All right, so we're going to take that reverse tabletop once more. So bringing your fingers back behind you, fingers pointing towards your heels. Take a nice deep inhale. And then exhale, lift your hips, press into your heels. Open up into the heart, hold 3, hold 2. Last one, and release. Good. Take your hips back, straighten into the legs, hands back behind you, point into the toes, full breath in. And exhale, lift the hips. Try and get those big toes down to the ground, ground them down, hold 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Nice. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Let the knees fall out to the sides, soles of the feet together. Inhale, full breath in. And then exhale, really round into your back and fold forward. Take 2 more breaths here. Good, and then slowly roll the spine up. Use your hands, draw your knees together. Bring your feet out, just shift your hips forward. Extend your arms out in front of you, lengthen through the spine, deep inhale. And then as you exhale, start to round into your back and slowly take it down, 1 vertebra at a time. Keep that core engaged and slowly lower it down. Once you get all the way down, bring your knees in towards your chest. And keeping that right knee in, extend the left leg all the way down. Hug that right knee in towards your chest. And then take that right knee out towards your right shoulder. Good, and then bring it back to center. And from here, I want you to hover that left leg above the ground. Extend the right leg all the way up. And then reach your arms forward. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, keep breathing, 2, and 1. Release it down. Right knee in, relax the left leg. I had to bring a little bit of abs in. Those abs are still coming. Watch this space. Good. Extend the right leg. Bring the left knee in towards your chest. Good. Take that left knee out to the left shoulder. Opening up into that left hip. Good. Then bring it back to center. Hover the right leg off of the ground. Extend the left leg skywards. Reach your arms up and then hinge forward and hold. 5, 4, keep extending, keep breathing. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Nice. Bend into both knees, bring them in towards your chest. Good. Let's find a happy baby. So soles of the feet up, grab the outside of the feet, drawing the knees down towards the mat. You can rock from side to side if that feels good. Find a bit of space, a bit of movement. And come back to center. Press your lower back down into the mat. Good. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees out wide, interlace your fingers and bring them at the top of the feet, drawing your feet down towards your chest or towards your body. And slowly release. Bring those knees in. Nice. We're going to take an eagle twist. So we're going to wrap the right leg over the left. And you can wrap once or wrap twice, whatever's available for you. But before we move the legs over, I want you to ground into that left foot. Lift your hips up and shift them over to the right. And then let the knees fall all the way over to the left. Extend your arms out to the sides. And if you find this is too intense on your lower back, then just unravel the legs and come into a normal twist with your knees stacking on top of each other. Last 2 breaths. Good. Inhale. Come back to center. Just shift your hips to center. Unravel the legs. And let's take it to the other side. So left leg wraps over the right. Single or double wrap. Place the right foot down on the ground. Lift your hips up. Shift them over to the left. And then let the knees fall over to the right. Open the body. Open the heart. Soften the shoulders. Allow the back of the head to be heavy. And breathe. Surrender into this pose. Last 2 breaths. Good. Inhale. Bring the legs back. Unravel. And straighten your hips out. What I'd like you to do is grab a hold of a block. And you're going to place the block underneath your sacrum. If you don't have a block, grab a book. Place it on its flattest height. Okay, so you don't want it too high. You want your whole pelvis to be supported by this block. Extend your arms down by the sides. And you're going to extend your legs all the way up towards the sky. And this is where you can play with your block. So you'll know if your pelvis is supported or not by the time you lift your legs up. So your legs should feel light. You can keep a slight bend in the knees. Again, shoulders are heavy. Back of the head is heavy. And just reversing gravity for a few breaths. Let your feet be light. Close your eyes. Soften the facial muscles. And last breath here. Good. Bend into your knees. Place the soles of your feet back onto your mat. Press into your heels as you lift your seat up and just remove your block from underneath you. Lower your spine all the way down. And we're going to start to set up for our final resting pose, Shavasana. So taking your legs all the way down, taking your feet as wide as the mat, extending your arms out to the sides, palms facing up in a receiving gesture. Let the shoulders soften. And just take a final scan from the top of the head all the way down to the soft soles of your feet, noticing if there are any sticky areas, any areas resisting from fully letting go. Make sure you warm. Your body temperature will drop. And then just start to soften the eyes, soften the space around the eyes. Allow the back of the head to be heavy. Let your shoulders spread and soften down towards the mat. The fingers are soft. Hips are heavy. And completely let go for the next few minutes, surrendering to the earth's embrace. Slowly begin to journey back to your body, back to the bubble of your yoga mat. Bringing awareness back to your breath, to the sensations in your body. Invite some movement back to your fingers and your toes, rubbing your thumbs against each finger, wiggling into your toes. And then slowly stretch your arms all the way overhead and give yourself a nice big stretch. Take a nice full inhale and a full exhale. Hug your knees in towards your chest. And then slowly roll over onto your left side, using your arm as a support for your head. Just take a moment for integration. And then when you're ready, gently bring yourself to seated, facing the front with your eyes closed. Bring your hands together in front of your heart space. Take a nice full inhale and exhale side out. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. Until we meet on the mat again, the love, light, and understanding in me bow in honors to the love, light, and willingness in each of you. Namaste.